Okay, gang, it's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of May 1st. We have a lot of ground to cover. There's a lot going on. And not saying that in some kind of dramatic, hold your horses way, just in terms of we're in this transition moment as per usual, out of April into May, out of mid-spring into the second half of spring, the start of summer. Beltane is on Friday. May Day is on Friday. The full moon in Scorpio, the flower moon, is on Friday. We're going to be moving out of the Emperor and Temperance energy. Did you like it? What'd you think? Into the Hierophant and the Devil. Hey! Hey now. The Devil and the Pope side by side. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to record that podcast after this one. We'll soon find out what that says. And I'm wondering how the Four of Cups went for you. I'm wondering about that sense of frustration, sense of abandonment, sense of dissatisfaction. What is going on? I'm not happy with the cups on this table. Universe, what have you done? And I just kept seeing that poster. I should have looked it up still, but from the 80s with the footprints on the sand. And just this idea of hopefully you got a reminder this week that spirit, source, God, the universe hasn't abandoned you. Sometimes we have to sit in it. Sometimes we have to get frustrated. Sometimes we can't see outside of our own story, narrative, experience. And sometimes we need the hand of God to push us in the shoulder and remind us that there's so much more possible than our minds can conceive. And again, 90% of the thoughts you have today, you had yesterday, and you will have tomorrow, unless you're actively working to change your neural pathways and actively working to change your schemas and your stories and the possibilities and your self-talk and your habits. All that comes into play. We will default towards the same. We will default towards stasis in terms of our mental looping. And so the Four of Cups draws our attention to that. So you might have had a sense of, oh my God, this is not helpful. I've been having the same conversation with myself, or I've been ruminating on the same thing, or I've been frustrated in the same way without taking any action for too long. And it's time for me to find a new way forward. Time for me to move the waters again. And we thought about stagnation, which isn't always the case with the Four of Cups, but it came through pretty clearly last week. This week, I pulled the 10 of Wands. And what I heard when I pulled it was set yourself all the way free. So the Hierophant and the Devil, so that is the things that that connect us to spirit or source. It is institutions and organized religion. It can be the government. And the Devil, which is bindings, bondage, shadow, where we're out of alignment, where we take ourselves too seriously. Those two things together, I'm, as usual, curious about what May will bring. Curious actually about what April has brought for you, like thinking about that idea of the materials on the table, how they have remained the same and yet energetically shifted. What's that been like for you? What is the alchemy that has occurred in your life in April? This 10 of Wands, so 10s, too much, right? This one goes to 11. When the 10s of the suit come into play, it's because we haven't been able to resolve the lesson of the 9. So the 9 comes in and it's like, this is complete. And then we're like, are you sure? And the tarot's like, yes, I'm sure. Here's number 10. And so the 10 of Wands is about our fire energy, our sexuality, our creativity, our inspiration, our spark, our intuition, not as a felt sense, but as a instinct, more instinct than intuition, maybe even. It's our fire energy. And the 10 of Wands is when we are holding too tightly to these things that have felt good in the past. So each of these rods is an Ace of Wands moment. Each of these wands is something that has mattered to us. The Ace of Wands, oh, my precious new beginning, my precious spark of inspiration, of vitality, of passion. The Two of Wands, oh, look, I'm powerful. I can make things, I can draw things to me in the world. The Three of Wands, oh, I actually know my own shit. I can navigate via my own internal compass. The Four of Wands, I'm going to create structures and places where I can really explore my creativity, my sexuality, what feels good. The Five of Wands, I compete and I can do it with a sense of playfulness, a sense of leaving it on the field. The Six of Wands, the victory card. The Seven of Wands, I'm allowed to have my own safe space. The Eight of Wands, there's always communication. There's the beautiful hang time of what I feel and what you feel and how those two things come together. The Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, I know how to handle myself. I know that no matter what comes down the road, I will be prepared and ready. I have fought and won many battles. And the Ten of Wands, and he's like, I collected all these things. Like, I did all these things. This is my life. And these are the moments that felt good. And I felt powerful. And I felt inspired. And I felt turned on. And I'm going to keep them all. And the core lesson of the Wands is that the more you have, the more uncomfortable it gets. And with the Ten of Wands, you're trying to carry something and keep something that is meant to fly free. So when it came in, again, it came in reverse. We're just having a whole, Kirsten's having a whole thing with reversals on this podcast. So therefore you are having it because we are having it together. And the Ten of Wands is this sense of I'm holding on to something that really isn't served by being held. The wands are not, they don't serve you, and they're not in their fullest expression when we're holding them too tightly. So one of my favorite writers, she talks about if you imagine that these are like balloons, they're meant to fly, they're meant to soar. And this guy, the reason he's walking so weird is because he's trying to hold things that want to be free. So I just want you to think about that. Think about that statement. Holding things that want to be free. Where in your life are you trying to grasp, clutch, hold, keep something that wants to fly free? What's going on? Like, what's the psychology under that? What do you think might happen? Do you think you might lose it? Do you think life might not feel good anymore? Do you think that it will never come back? And that's like the gift in the Ten of Wands, is that if you let them go, it actually feels really good. And if you let them go, a new one can be born. So it's like my hands are so full of the old things. They're so full and afraid that if I let these things that feel good go, I will never feel good again. I fell in love once, and that's it for me. I had a great idea, and that's it for me. I had a super successful business, and that's it for me. I had this place, this community where I felt in love and inspired and turned on and lit up and excited about life. And now I'll never have that again. Anyone? Or you could have the feeling of, oh, if I can just get that project, or if I can just get that person, or if I can just get to that place, then I will feel good again. And the Ten of Wands is like, set yourself all the way free. Like, figure out that every desire, inspiration is a portal into a new world, into a new possibility. It's a quantum leap. If I can feel that clarity of passion, of turn on, of inspiration, and I can let myself feel that all the way, let it get bigger, let myself stay in it, it will literally propel me into a new possibility, onto a new trajectory, into a new path. I guys saw on my Instagram, I went to Lanzarote with Locomotion and those guys at the gym here. That's an amazing community. They do such a good job with their community there. But we went and it was volcanic land. And I had never been someplace volcanic before. And it was an amazing trip, but I did not sleep very well. And I'm pretty sure I was having some kind of energetic exchange with the lava, with the volcanic stone. And the last night we were there, we had to get up very early for our flight. And all night, this is where it's fun to be me. All night I kept feeling the truth of this image that we had all stepped out of time onto this island. And while we were on the island, what I saw was we were in a neutron collider, which I don't even really know what that means, but that's what I was being shown. And we were spinning. And then when we left on the Aries new moon. We literally popped out, each of us, onto a different trajectory than we would have been on had we not gone to this island and been there at this moment in time with this group of people. It was kind of psychedelic, very Lost, very like the TV show Lost. Time stood still. And we just circulated, and the stone worked on us, and the land worked on us. And our interactions, I didn't know really any of these people. And we had all these interesting, beautiful interactions. And then we were shot off onto a new timeline. I'm telling you this story because this idea of, I just went there because I've wanted to go there, because I feel like this is a place I need to be. I knew it was going to be rich. I didn't know why, but I knew it was going to be rich. And I went there, and this whole thing happened. So it's like, that was the portal. Why are you going there? I don't know why. It just feels good. It feels right. Okay, walk towards that. This whole thing happens, and it literally pushed me onto a new timeline. I'm pretty sure about it. And one of the things I saw in that vision was that we all knew it was important now, but we were going to look back on it in years and be like, that moment, something happened right there. And I just saw that, right? It was this beautiful sight into that, the truth of that experience. But that's happening all day. You see something you want to move towards. Trust that fire energy, trust that passion, trust that light that pushes you towards it. Again, like, not to become more attached to the thing, but to feel more alive in your body, to feel more alive in your life. And if we keep following these instincts, these emotions, these calls, these passions, these desires, they pop us out into new worlds, new possibilities. And if we don't follow it, we kind of stagnate and we do what this guy's doing on this card. I had it once, felt good once. And the artist is like the perfect example of this. I made something beautiful. I did it. So now I'm just going to hold it and keep it and stay here with this beautiful thing I created. When whatever that beautiful thing is you created, it's time to move on. Like, what else? This is the part of us that is hungry for new experiences, new connections, new spaces, new ideas, new dancing with life. And so the card is the 10 of Wands, but the message is set yourself all the way free. Notice where you're holding on to something because it was good at one point, because it felt good, or because it feels like maybe if I hold on tight, I'll get that good feeling again. Let it go. Let it go, to let yourself go, so that you can experience what's next. You can be open to the next warm thing, the next light, the next inspiration, the next passion, the next attraction, the next heat that you find in your life. So I tell you that because this idea of your desire as a doorway is so just true. And the less attached you can become to achieving that desire, to attaching to an outcome or a resolution, and just like a little hummingbird, just loosely follow, this is where the nectar is right now, and that's enough. And I can just allow myself to feel more alive in this interaction, knowing that the next flower is blooming just so, and the next nectar is available to me just so. Like, the hummingbird is a great metaphoric or animal guide in all of this. The hummingbird doesn't like take each, this flower was beautiful, put it on my back, get the next flower, put it on my back. That's what this guy's doing with the 10 of Wands. These were all beautiful flowers, beautiful experiences, joy and life and passion and excitement, and again, like heat. But that doesn't mean that we pluck the flower and put it on our back and carry it on the long journey. We bow and end the practice. This was beautiful. Thank you. I enjoyed this. This was a beautiful moment in my life. This was a moment where I felt so alive. What else? What else is out there for me? What else is right here for me, right? There's something really interesting about letting our hands go, watching all the wands fly, knowing that we've actually just gifted the universe so much space in our own field for the next wand to occur, for the next flower to appear, for the next nectar to show up. Set yourself all the way free this week. Notice where you're sticky, and that specific flavor of sticky of, this felt good once. I felt alive here. I felt turned on here. I felt creative here. I felt inspired here. Okay, if you still feel that way, awesome. Open your heart to that. But if you're holding it because it once was, but it doesn't have that quality of life for yourself, for the thing, for your own fire, for the light of the world, let it go. Set yourself all the way free. Probably in a 10 of Wands week, that contrast between what is a live warm thing and what is an old warm thing is going to be very, very felt. And it's going to require courage on your part to trust that if I let this thing go, if I let these good things that felt good at one point go, that something new will appear. That's a leap of faith in that. There's an act of faith required. The energy of burden comes through with the 10 of Wands. So wherever something might feel like a burden in your life, there's an opportunity this week to reconsider that, rethink that, and That's your own work, that's your own discernment. And in the May month, that will probably also become very clear. What is something that you are in service to and you still choose? So then it can be a burden, but I still choose it. We've talked about my classic one of cooking dinner every night, right? I can feel that as a little bit of a burden sometimes. It's in the scheme of things, we all know that's not a real burden. I'm very lucky to have the possibility of preparing food for my children every night, having them safe in my home every night. There's a blessing beyond blessings. But I can hold it like a burden. And so the reframe is, okay, Kirsten, you're still cooking dinner every night. And then it's the clarity with myself. Yes, I am. I still choose that. So it's the choice around it. It's not that we don't have responsibilities, that we don't have things we would prefer not to do in our life. That's part of living. It's part of the human condition. But becoming conscious and aware and deciding that you still choose it, even if it is hard, you still choose it. And I had a girlfriend here last weekend, and we were talking about the stage of life we're in, where there's children and there's parents, and that sandwich generation thing is real. It's a very real physical, emotional, mental, relational demand. And we were talking about the reality of that position. And that's a great example. That can feel like a burden. And it is interesting to consider where you would choose it anyway, and where you might be able to ask for help, and where you might be holding more of the responsibility than you need to, and where it might be time to rethink some of the patterns and agreements and circumstances with which you're moving. So it's like both are true. Is it hard? 100%. Does it have to be carried like a burden? No. There's a way to look at it with eyes wide open and say, what is really mine here? And take ownership of that fully, and then find ways to release what isn't yours to carry. It's, again, is that easy? Of course not. Of course not. And that's a big one, the one I'm talking about. But we all have some version of that. What is the burden that I carry? And where might I reframe that or renegotiate that so that I can be fully committed without carrying it like it's something heavy? Because again, even those dynamics, they come from love, they come from spark, they come from heat, they come from passion, they come from connection. And so the 10 of Wands is just going to teach us over and over again, it's not the load, it's how you carry it. And there's an opportunity this week to set yourself much, much more free. And I hope that you see it, and I hope that you take it, and I hope that you trust the universe to fill in whatever you release with love, with something even brighter and more alive than the thing that you've let go of. Okay, that's what I got for you. What do we have going on? I think Shaman School is going to definitely be the fall of 2027. So if that's something you're interested in, let's discuss. And Mystic Rising, we're moving into the Mother Archetype in May. Would love to have you join us at any point. And I have some private appointments. I'm going to open the appointments in May in the next week, so those will be up. And otherwise, just, keep on keeping on, and sending you so much love. And good luck in this Devil Hierophant month. I'm curious to see what the cards say about that. Talk to you soon. Bye.